Welcome to Grim Dark Gains, a bi-weekly podcast where we help you turn from a guardsman to an ogren. Today we set out to answer all things protein, but before we dive into today's topic, we will chat about our life, lifting, and hobby.
Yeah.
Hello, Eli.
Hello, Alex. How's it going?
Bro, so good. Just came back from vacation. Feel rejuvenated, ready to crush it.
Very
That
nice.
was yeah, we'll talk more about that, but doing so good. How are you?
Good. I'm also good. I'm tired. I've been tired the last few days, but the grind never stops, So, but I'm
What's
good.
going on? Why are you tired?
I don't know. I think it was just because I had my birthday last week, and I was trying to I with the in-laws family, we had Chinese food, and they gave us all the leftovers for that. And with my family, we had fettuccine alfredo and cake, and they gave us all the leftovers for that. So half my diet has been these leftovers, and I think it has been wearing me down a little bit for all the extra carbs and sugar. But it's all
Carbs,
right.
fat, salt. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I love getting Chinese and then working out like 4 hours later. It's just like white rice and
uh-huh.
salt. It's like the pump is ridiculous on that.
Truly nothing better.
Cool, man. Well, how was your birthday?
Good. It was good. I'm 25 now. Ancient. It's over. Middle aged, but
That's right.
yep,
Yeah, the best days of your life are over. Could as well give up now.
yep, truly, truly. But no, it
Um,
was quite good. It was quite good. So
did you get any Warhammer for your birthday?
no, I don't ask for Warhammer because nobody knows what to get me. So, and I don't want to just say get me this thing. So
Yeah,
that and I
I've
already
made that
have enough
mistake.
Warhammer. Let's be honest. So.
That's honestly, that's the bigger reason I don't ask for Warhammer. I'm like, please don't increase my pile of shame. If I ever need something, I'll buy it myself.
I
I made that mistake when I was younger, like
mhm.
was probably 14, just like few years into Warhammer. And I asked for Warhammer for my birthday, and I just got like the most random things. Not like I got a bolt thrower, and I already had two bolt throwers, and just like I got 40k orcs instead of the fantasy orcs. I'm like, all right,
Yep.
learned my lesson.
Yep.
I mean, you can't
Exactly.
complain. It's Warhammer, but it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
People don't
true.
really understand, which is fair. It's a very, very niche thing.
Mhm. Mhm. But yeah, I did get a big D&D lore compendium book thing. Uh, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like 300 pages, and the pages are like this big. So it's I'm pretty excited about that because
Excellent.
I'm gonna make me a Dungeons and Deadlifts YouTube channel, I think, and do some
Bro,
D&D lore.
let's
So yeah.
go. I love that.
Mhm.
There was this shirt I got. Actually, I didn't get, but I saw at Arnold. Actually, I traveled to Arnold recently, last 2 weeks ago now. And they have like a nerdy stand. I don't remember the name of it, but it
Uh-huh.
had like a dragon deadlifting, and it's on
Nice.
Dungeons and Daddies.
Wow. Very
Pretty
nice.
good.
I guess for lifting though, I lifting is good news. I've been hitting PRs in the last week, so even 2 weeks,
Yeah,
I
bro. I've been
guess
seeing you're
things are going well.
smashing
So
it.
yeah, I uh, hit a 185 on the overhead press, which isn't a big deal to me, but it is a PR technically. So
Pretty
it's
impressive.
it's it's on the way to 225, and it's more than body weight, so I'm happy enough, I guess.
Bro,
But
I'd be super happy. And 225 overhead press is ridiculous, by the way.
yeah,
Right? Like it's
I'm
not
hoping we
normal
can
to.
get there. I'm hoping I can get there. I,
Do you
I
think you would want to participate in like strongman style events in the future?
Probably I would like to try powerlifting. I actually
Yeah,
wanted to do a powerlifting meet in the next month or two because the cut is just starting. So my weight would have been down a little bit and my lifts would still
right,
be up. But
right.
when I checked like yesterday, all of the meets in the next 2 months that are in the same province that I'm in are all full. So I would have to
Mhm.
wait too long and then
Could
I'd
you
just be too
travel?
far into the cut. Would I travel? Yeah, but not
Yeah, could you
far.
travel like further?
Like
Yeah,
like one province over because I mean
I got it.
Canada, one province over is like a whole day's worth of driving, right? So
Sure, sure, that's fair. Big country.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
but that's
it's
smart
fine.
actually.
I'm probably
I
gonna
didn't think
do
about
a probably gonna do a mock meet, like just go to the gym and do my lifts, make a
like the
how
big
strong
three.
is deadlifts for the dark odds video. So
That's
might as
good.
well.
I like that,
Hmm.
bro. I wonder because you're probably like what are you thinking? 1200 plus?
Oh
More
yeah,
than that?
yeah, more than that. Yeah,
Sweet.
uh, not including overhead press, I guess. If we're just doing deadlifts, bench, squats,
Right,
uh,
right, right. The big three.
it'd be I don't. It probably, I would hope for somewhere between 12 and 13. I guess
Yeah,
if I'm running the numbers right, give or take. It would
yeah,
be
that's
really cool. It'd
really
be really
solid.
cool to hit a 405 squat. That's what I'm
Yeah,
hoping.
yeah. Bro, that's so good. I haven't trained for like strength for a long time now, and you make me miss that.
It's fun. It's very
Um,
fun.
cool.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's good, man.
how was your trip?
Bro, it was so good. So I traveled to Norway for my vacation. I guess I should get started with the first thing. I kind of took a 10-year, not 10-year, that'd be amazing. A 10-day long vacation starting with Arnold. So I went to Arnold with my friend Nathan, and it was as good as always.
Hmm.
Last year I went with Chuck at Strength Hammer, shout out.
Hmm.
And but this year he couldn't make it, so I went there. Really fun. You get charged with atmosphere, and they have like all kind of challenges and events you could do. A lot of them are not extremely hard, like they don't make you deadlift anything super heavy or do any kind of heavy bench press. But when you're like charged up with all the energy and testosterone is running high, right? So I haven't done more than 20 pull-ups in years. It's been, I think, like 3 years since I've done more than 20 pull-ups. So I get on this bar and I'm like, okay, I want that free hat. So I'm gonna do 20 pull-ups, and I end up doing 23. So I was actually
Wow,
pretty happy about that.
sheesh.
Yeah,
I could not do
yeah,
23 right now. That's pretty
bro. I went to
sick.
the gym yesterday. I did like 12. It's just it's just the energy there.
Awesome.
And then there was another thing where they make you do as many push-ups as you can in 2 minutes, and you can rest at the top, but you
Mm,
can't completely rest. You can put your chest down to rest, and you can't let go on your knees to rest. So it's still hard, because you can rest
mm,
really well at the
yep.
top of the movement. But we just came out literally that day, the first day of Arnold. We came out of the push-ups for 40K. I do every year with
Nice.
a
Yep.
couple of people. So I was feeling pretty good, and I actually ended up doing 81 push-ups
Sheesh.
in
Wow.
2 minutes. Felt pretty good. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like super strong right now with like bench deadlifts or anything like that, but I felt pretty good being able to do some of those calisthenic movements.
Nice. That's very cool.
Yeah, yeah. And then Norway was awesome. I'm not gonna bore people too much with it, but it was quite an adventure. I'm not gonna give you too many details, but we ended up traveling all across the country. We visited like
Hmm.
5 cities and towns, and stayed in 3 Airbnbs in a span of a
Nice.
week. So
Wow.
it was a really good
Very
time.
cool.
Much needed vacation.
Hmm. Very
Yeah.
cool. And I saw you did some hobby stuff up there. Is that what those pictures are from, or is that somewhere else?
Yeah, no, it was actually right before. So right before I
Mm,
left for Norway, or for Arnold, it was a couple of days before. So Chuck and I was Strength Hammer, and I'll have a separate video on that on Fit Hammer
mm-hmm.
YouTube soon. But we basically had a challenge. If you don't know Chuck Strength Hammer, he's a beast when it comes to hobbying, like a monster. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he painted like 3,000 models this last year.
Oh my
Like
gosh, man.
just
Yeah.
ridiculous. Right now, if he also works for DW, so he paints models for them. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Like he like completed all of the he painted all of the Age of Sigmar spearhead sets.
Wow,
Yeah, all of them in the
man.
past year,
That's pretty freaking
right?
crazy.
And then he painted like probably 3 armies for himself.
Yep.
He's a hobby monster.
Yeah.
Right?
I wish I could do those things. Uh,
Right. And he also works full time. He goes to the
yeah.
gym. He does all kind
That
of things. So it's not like
it's
it's his
crazy.
job.
Yeah.
It's just hobby, and it's partially for works for GW too. So probably half the models were for that, but half are just for him or for
Yeah.
friends.
That's cool.
So anyway,
Oh man.
yeah, he has a reputation for being a hobby beast. Right? I
Hmm.
have not met a person, or even online met a person who is that efficient at painting
Yeah.
models.
That's
So
pretty
basically, I
cool.
challenged him. He started a new army, as he does in the
Hmm.
2025. It was Lizardmen for Old World, 2,000
Nice.
points.
I'm looking at him right now.
And right. Good, good. And what I did is I already had 1,200 points painted in the beginning of the year for actually an event that Chuck ran,
Hmm.
Tyrathi Invitational. But I wanted to finish out the army, so I added another 800 points.
Hmm.
So I had him primed, and actually it was around the same time he primed his model. So I'm like, hey, Chuck, I bet I can finish painting my 800 points to complete my 2,000 point army before you finish your 2,000 points.
Hmm.
And he's like, all right, challenge accepted. So I stayed up a couple nights and managed to get it done.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I mean, he gave me a it was a big crutch, but I still managed to get it done. Um, it was really fun, and then we celebrated that by playing in a mega battle. I'm not sure if you have it pulled up, but there's a
Mhm.
mega battle picture we did on a table at the
Yep.
local club where it was 3 on 3. I think it was in total about 12,000 points because we had
Jeez.
6,000 versus
Wow.
6,000. So it was a
Nice.
fun battle. Chuck and I kind of stayed on the same side to like, try to battle it out. We went out a
Hmm.
little bit, but it was a really fun battle. We had on this Orders of Destruction, we had two Orcs and Goblins and Chaos Warriors.
Yep.
And then on the right side, we have Lizardmen up front. We have High Elves in the middle, and then Empire City State of Nuln
Oh,
on the very far there. So
cool.
cool battle. We actually managed to get it done
Nice.
in about 4 or 5 hours. So it was
Nice.
a really, really good time.
Hmm.
Uh, Made me feel really good putting the fully painted army on the table.
Yeah, I bet. I guess I should mention, for my birthday, I have one friend. His name is Miller. He texts me every single year. I only see him a couple times a year, but he texts me
Yeah.
every single year on my birthday, um, because we play a game of 40K on my birthday. So I got together with Miller and my other friend Braden, and I'll put up my own pictures of this. Hopefully, I'll remember to do that. And we played 7th edition game of Warhammer, a 2v1. It was
Nice.
I brought my Necrons because they're my only. I only have for 3,000 points. I only have Necrons painted for that many points, so I brought my Necrons. Miller brought Ultramarines, and Braden was playing Imperial Guard. It was a
Nice.
very fun game. We played like a wacky mission where I brought 3,000 points and they both brought 1,500,
Oh,
and
cool.
I set up in the middle and just defended a single objective that they had to try to break through and take away basically. And first turn, Gilliman got the 12-inch charge, turn one charge, and one shot my monolith, and it blew up and went everywhere.
That's
Then
awesome.
then the deceiver turned around the Catan shard and time zeroed Gilliman and his strength D. So if you roll a 6, you're just removed from the game. So he removed him from space and time because he rolled a 6. But then Gilliman has his armor of whatever, and so then Gilliman can resurrect on a 3+. So he got back up, and then
No.
he just sowed destruction in my lines for the rest of the game. I didn't even do a wound to him after that because he just turned around
Oh,
and slapped the Catan shard out of existence. And I messed up I rolled really bad on my saves for the Nightbringer, and he died to a Terminator Squad's bolters. That was very
no.
tragic. But it was still a really good game. It was actually really close. At the end of the day, it was like 2-1 for the Imperium because they got first blood from that monolith, so they got one extra point.
Ooh,
But
wow.
I
Very
think,
close game.
yeah, I had at the end of the game, the only thing I had left were my 5 death marks, who killed like an entire squad of Terminators and more, which is cool. The Imperial Guard had like 4 dudes and a tank left. The Imperial Guard took 98% casualties, which I thought was quite funny.
As they should,
Yeah, and
right?
then the
Yeah.
Space Marines had like 10 dudes left, so very bloody
Nice.
game, very fun.
Wow.
Anarchy the Traveler, he can take over tanks on a 4+.
Mhm.
And Braden had his Hellhound in the midst of his Imperial Guard lines, so he took over the Hellhound and killed like 15 guardsmen with the Hellhound tank, which was very cool. I was very happy about that. He uh,
That's awesome.
he didn't make his Tachyon arrow shot. He never makes his Tachyon arrow shot. It's like a one shot, strength 10 thing that is range unlimited, but he never hits it. It's fine.
Sure.
It was a good
Sure.
game. It was a very very fun
Yeah.
game.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember seeing it on your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You should post it more often. It was actually very fun. I mean, that was a uniquely fun game. It looked
Mm-hmm.
like because a lot of fun things happened. But you should post it more often because it actually was really. I was in Norway just like looking at things.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
It was really fun to watch.
I need to play more, and then I can post more. But I barely have time to play nowadays. It feels like, especially 7th edition. I only have a few friends who are willing to play like 6th and 7th edition with me.
Sure.
I'm trying to reel my other buddies into it, but they just don't want to learn the rules, which is fair. For new Warhammer, I've been building my Phoenix Lords. I'm pretty hyped about that. I have
Ooh,
Baharoth. He is gigantic, by the
nice.
way. He's taller. His wing goes taller than a Ballistus Dreadnought. He's quite the big guy. I'm gonna try to paint him. I'm gonna paint Azerman. My friend's gonna paint Fugan for me. And the Warp Spider Phoenix Lord, I'm not so sure if I am brave enough to paint her. That looks scary,
Sure.
but
Sure.
GW has their how to paint all the Phoenix lords with contrast paints video, and for a noob like me, that's perfect. So
Yeah, give it a
yeah,
shot.
yeah,
Yeah, bro.
but
Sounds like a lot going on with the hobby.
hmm
That's fun.
hmm yeah, and new Emperor's
Yeah.
Children soon. That's exciting.
Oh yeah. How do you feel about those?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm excited to get them. I don't. Hopefully, I'll be able to play with them often, but we'll see. I mean, it's only the
Yeah.
box set coming out, and then we have to wait another, like, I don't know, 2 weeks or whatever for everything else. I'm not sure what the actual dates are, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get them and build them up, and once we start doing battle reports, we'll play with them on there. So yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a good time. I remember how everybody was so skeptical with the new helmets, and the
I
models
was
come on.
not.
They look
I
great.
yeah, I was. I thought they were gonna suck. I thought they were gonna be garbage, but they were pretty good. They're not like the top tier crazy Slanesh thinks that they could be,
Sure.
but they're nice, and that's you know what, it's fine. It's good enough for me. And Lucius looks great, and so do the. I love the cone heads. I love those guys.
You do.
And
They do look. They look interesting. That's I think it's a word for it.
and yeah, the Noise Marines are pretty cool. I wish. Like there's classic art of like the Slanesh guy with his abs out and the like crazy eyes and
Yes.
mouth. I
Yes.
want them
Yes.
to look like that, but I know why they probably didn't do that, and it's okay, I guess. But I'd rather they look like actual Slanesh Marines, you know. But
Why do you think they didn't do that?
I think it's probably just, well, I mean mainly because GW just doesn't make 40K models like they used to, but also because I think they would like it to be good for a general audience. They don't want them to be too scary and too
Like more PG, you
yeah
think?
yeah
Interesting.
yeah
That's unfortunate.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess GW. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if
Yeah,
you think about it.
Sigmar, you're spoiled. Sigmar and Fantasy get all the cool stuff. 40K is over here getting Inquisitor Cotias and stuff, but whatever.
Yeah,
they,
it's a
they
pretty
did
embarrassing model. Yeah,
yeah they did
Captain
okay
Underground.
with the Emperor's Children, and they did really good with the Eldar. I cannot complain about the Eldar. They actually look really good. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah
To be fair, you can't have everything be a win,
yeah
right? Some things are gonna be okay, and some things are
yeah
gonna be Cotillas, and some things are gonna be
yeah
like, amazing.
yeah exactly exactly. And I got the new Fulgrim stuff
Bro, yeah,
coming
yeah,
out soon.
yeah.
I'm excited about that. I really like these shirts. So
Yeah, shut off again. I want to see it
can't
in
really see the
person.
text very easily on the light,
Bro, it
but
looks
here
nice.
he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
hmm
Heck yeah. Good. That's good.
All right.
Cool, man.
Oh, and Grimdark Games merch coming soon. Hopefully, that's the plan.
Working on it. Working on it. All right. Awesome. And I think it's prime time we dove into our topic.
Yeah.
So let's talk all things protein. So I basically have a bunch of questions laid out for us to discuss on protein, and we'll take it one thing at a time.
Sounds good.
Uh, so first things, what is protein? Very basic. I feel like most people have heard of protein before,
hmm
and we're talking to general Warhammer nerd audience here. What is protein? Tell me, Eli.
I'd say it's the chains of amino acids, which are essentially the building blocks for everything in your body. That's
Yeah,
bad. Yeah, that's basically it, right? in,
yeah.
in layman's terms, but
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, I don't think, it's too simplified. Another thing I want to say is it's one of the three macronutrients that make up all the food,
yeah, that's a better way of
right? So
saying it.
we
It's more important.
right. There's carbs, fats, and proteins
Mm,
are what all food is made of. Not all foods will have all three, but most will, and protein is part of it.
mhm.
Okay, so you already mentioned that protein is kind of the building block for a lot of tissues. So what does protein do? Why are we talking about it?
Let's see. I mean, well, like I said, it builds everything in your body more or less. You need glycogen and glucose for other things, obviously, more just to feed your
Sure.
body. But the protein itself is, like what your skin is made out of, what your muscles are made out of, all the amino acids. Like if you ate your own skin, there's like it's protein. You're made out of protein essentially. So
Exactly.
when you eat protein, the amino acids get broke down and they go into the I don't remember all the fancy terms, but they go into the chain, and then your body sends the amino acids to where they need to be
Yep.
used the most. So, which is also why I guess we'll just get it out of the gate right now. Branch chain amino acids are dumb because your body can take amino acids that are one thing and make them into other ones other than the main essential amino acids. So if you're gonna take, I'm jumping the gun, but if you're gonna take amino
Sure,
acid supplements, just take the essential ones because your body can make the other kinds out of any of the
sure,
other amino acids. So they take it
sure.
takes the amino acids, it sends it to where it needs to go, and that's how your body functions and survives, and that's how you build muscle as well. You use
Yep.
the protein that you eat to make more muscle. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And that's definitely going into why it's actually important to eat your protein. But really like what you said that like we're made up of a bunch of protein, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, like all your skin, nails, hair, tendons, joints,
Mm-hmm.
obviously muscle, any kind of tissue that you have is going to be made up primarily of protein.
Yep.
So that's uh, protein is essential. And there's other smaller things that are not as relevant to our conversation, but things like hormones and
Mm-hmm.
certain enzymes and certain antibodies are also technically proteins. So
Yep.
it's important to eat your protein.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. I think it's been so long. It's been so long since nutrition physiology classes, but there's
Sure.
eight essential amino acids.
Nine.
Correct? Nine. All right.
Right. Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, nine essential, 11
Yep.
non-essential, 20 total.
Yep.
And the reason I say that is because I literally teach this stuff on a bi-yearly basis, I guess.
Yep.
That's the very, very basic things, right? And, like,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, you don't need to know that. I don't need to know that. We're only going to
Yeah.
talk about things that we actually like need to know and need to apply.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that we got the what does protein do out of the way, why should our audience, why should nerds be concerned with eating enough protein?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, already, like I said, you're made out of protein, so you should preferably eat protein, and your body can technically upkeep you without protein, but you're not gonna have a whole lot of muscle that way, and it's gonna be not healthy. Um,
Right.
but yes, you should eat protein because it will make you. It'll give you the ability. I shouldn't say it'll make you get more muscle. It'll give you the ability to build more muscle, and it will
Hmm.
also maintain the muscle mass you already have, which is great. Uh, it's just healthy in general for your body. It's also very satiating. It's the most satiating
Yeah.
macronutrient.
Go. Good.
Uh, it's only 4 calories per gram, which is nice. And there's lots of different ways you can eat it. But the main thing is you need protein to build muscle and maintain muscle.
Yeah, I love that. I think you hit the nail on the head. The three things I like to tell, just like people ask me why is protein important, is it helps you build muscle, which if you're listening to us, you probably care about building muscle. It keeps you fuller longer, right? If you're trying to lose weight, usually eating more protein is going to be beneficial to that. And then on a smaller level, not as important, but big picture, it plays a role, has a higher thermic effect.
Mm-hmm.
And all it means is it just burns more calories in order to digest it, in order to
Yep.
break it down.
So
It's not a huge thing. It's not like you're going to notice it on a daily basis. But over the course of months and years, it is going to add up. So
yeah,
it's going to be helpful.
and if you are even like cutting down slowly, and you want to just push a little bit more, you can change your macronutrients from like 40% protein and 40% carbs to 45% protein and
Yep.
35% carbs, and that alone will burn more calories in your body.
Exactly. Exactly. And keep you fuller longer, so you might actually
Mm-hmm.
eat less calories too. So yeah,
Yep.
eating more protein is an awesome thing. I guess I don't really have that question written down, but um, can you can can you eat too much protein?
I don't know. Probably it's probably you probably can, but it's probably to the point where you have to eat only like 3,000 calories of just protein every day. Like
Right.
I don't. I'm pretty sure the myth about how it's hard on your liver or something is was debunked a long time ago. Um, yeah, like there's something about nitrogen. I don't remember. I learned a lot of this stuff like 2 years ago, and I haven't had to use it for so long. Oh my gosh.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think you can really eat too much protein unless you try. Like, it'd be pretty
Yeah.
tough. And it's already gonna be really hard to eat 3,000 calories of just protein in a day, anyways.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like the odds are you're
Yeah.
probably not gonna have too much protein. Um, yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. So you pretty much hit the nail on the head. It's technically yes, you can. Like you can technically drink too much water, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's not going to happen. It's unless you unless you intentionally try and you just like do protein powders and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
all day long for not and don't need anything else, just get 3,000 calories. Like
Yeah,
I think it has to be like 400 plus grams or 500 plus grams daily for a regular person who doesn't even have that much muscle mass. And then yeah, there's no issues with liver or kidneys or anything like that. It's primarily due to ammonia toxicity.
that's what it is. Ammonia, not
Yeah, and
nitrogen. Yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah, it's close. I
I
think
know
it's uric
nitrogen is
acid.
still in it, but yeah. Uh,
Yeah, it basically it doesn't matter. It's not going to happen. So it's better to eat more protein than less. And Eli and I try to get more protein in our diets, and we're not even close to getting a number that
yeah,
high, right? So it's not going to happen. It's
it's
not a challenge. Don't try,
yeah,
but it's not going to happen.
it's like taking too much vitamin D. You have to take like 10,000 IU's
Sure,
a day or something to get the
something
toxicity out of it.
ridiculous,
And
right?
like I don't know what the heck you've gotten into if you're taking that much of anything, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
very unlikely.
yeah.
Uh, okay, good. So I guess next question would be is does protein quality matter? So we're talking about
Mm.
protein, eating more protein, and you see all kind of ads with different protein sources. So does where you get your protein and does protein quality matter?
Yeah, definitely. And I know you're passionate about a certain vegan source of protein. You always go off about it when you're talking to me about it. So,
Yep.
uh, but yeah, it definitely matters. Certain sources of protein will have different amino acids in them, and your meat protein is pretty much always 99% of the time going to have more of your essential amino acids in it than anything else. And like we kind of said before, essential amino acids are amino acids that your body cannot produce or
Yes.
repurpose out of other amino acids. So you can only get it from diet, and they are essential for the upkeep and general health of your body. So it's important to have high quality protein sources like red meat, because that will be getting all of your amino acids in most of the time.
Yeah. No, I love that. It's so fun talking to you about this stuff because you know all the answers, right? So, yeah, no, protein quality absolutely does matter. There are protein bioavailability tests available, PDCAAs, DIAs, scores. But yeah, basically all they measure is the how bioavailable, how much of the protein you can digest, and that is measured on how much of the essential amino acids they have. And yeah, absolutely, there's complete and incomplete proteins. Um, I am passionate about mentioning vegan proteins that are uh, decent for you, but because there are a lot of people who are vegan, right? I
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
don't want them to miss out on their getting to their protein goals and seeing good
yeah.
results.
And it is possible to get all
However,
your amino acids in as a vegan. It's just harder.
it's possible, but it's like playing the game on a difficult mode, right?
Yeah.
You are putting difficulty on hard instead of medium,
Mm-hmm.
or even easy. If you
Mm-hmm.
get your protein sources from animal sources, you don't even have to think twice about protein quality. If you get it primarily from vegan sources, and maybe we'll do an episode of that, but it's much harder.
Mm-hmm.
It's much harder.
Yep.
Okay, good. So, how much protein should you eat to gain muscle?
The lifelong debate that will truly never end. But I think
According to you, what do you think?
the official numbers are like 0.6 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight, basically. And yeah, I think that's fine. I think 1 gram per pound of body weight is a great thing to aim for, or 1 gram per pound of desired body weight. I think is
Yeah,
what you've said before. At the end of the day, if you're eating more than 100 grams, it's probably good enough, unless you're a big guy.
sure.
And if you're advanced, the more advanced you get, the more important it is, obviously. But if you've never touched a dumbbell in your life and you go out the gate eating 100 grams of protein, that's definitely going to be enough. If you're like me or Alex, you're going to want a bit more than 100. And it also comes into play on how much other food you're eating. Like if you're already in a bulk and you're eating like 3,500 calories, then you don't need as much protein. Uh, and you're going to be eating a ton of other food anyways, and it's going to be harder to eat all your food if you're trying to get your exact protein goal in and blah blah blah. But basically, you should never go under 100 grams of protein, I would say.
Yeah, it's a very good, like, if you don't want to do the math, just get at least 100,
Yeah.
right? As Eli already talked about, getting more is probably going to be beneficial.
Hmm.
But yeah, a very simple formula, 1 gram per pound of desired body weight. There's all kind of studies that show you can get away with less, which is helpful, right?
Hmm.
So it's helpful for beginners because they don't have to be as overwhelmed. Almost all my clients, when I first give them their protein goal and I undershoot it almost every time,
Hmm.
they struggle to get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So getting to protein goal if you're not used to eating high protein foods can be challenging.
Hmm.
But if you're looking for a number to shoot for 1 gram per pound of desired body weight, if let's say you're 240 pounds, you want to be 200 pounds, 200 grams of protein is going to be very good.
Yeah, I think if you're just starting out and it's really hard to get that much protein in, just if you're already eating 3 meals a day, because that's also something you need to be hitting once you start out. Just try to have a protein source in all three of your meals,
Yeah.
and once that gets easy, you can start to track it and try to increase it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is only applicable if you're actually going to track. If not, I guess we can talk about this nicely translating into the next section
Mm-hmm.
is I want to talk about how do we get to our protein goal?
Mm.
So you go ahead and get started with that.
I mean, eating for me at least, eating's really easy, so I've never really struggled with it
Sure.
personally. I just eat a lot of meat and eggs, and I have 1 scoop of whey protein. Sometimes depends. Like my morning meal is cream of rice, and I can either have protein powder in that or I can have eggs. So I usually go for the eggs because the eggs are gonna have a lot more nutrients in general for me.
Sure, sure.
But I think it's good to have a whey meal every once in a while and just have a variety of protein sources, right? But the easiest way to get your protein in is to just eat high protein source things with your meals. If it's really hard, then protein powder is the easiest way to get your protein in because you can literally drink it. So you're just
Yep.
drinking protein. But yeah, eating meat with every meal or eggs, or if you're vegan, then something high protein for vegans. Um, Protein powders make it really easy. Protein bars are an easy snack. You have to find the right ones though, or they just taste bad. To be
Sure.
fair, but
Yeah.
and they're kind of expensive. So I really just try to tell people to have protein powder and meat because protein powder is not overly expensive, and it's really easy to get in. You could have snacks like I don't know, like meat bites.
Yeah,
Even
sure.
nuts have a little bit of protein, but they're also a
A
bit
little
high
bit.
calorie, so it depends on what your goals are. Yeah, eating high protein sourced foods. If you're on a cut, then eat lean protein foods like chicken breast, even egg whites, I guess,
Mhm.
white
Yeah.
fish. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have protein with every meal. I don't think there's a single meal that I have that doesn't have a protein source in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the way I would think about it is if you are tracking and you are trying to aim to get 150 grams of protein, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the easiest way for you to get so? Like, because there's people who only eat 2 meals a day,
Yeah,
right? So if you do that and you have no snacks, well, you better make sure you're getting like 70 grams of protein per meal,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, and I
If
mean,
not more.
yeah, and like if you double scoop a protein shake and sip that throughout the day, that's already like 50 grams of protein right there.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So spread your protein intake throughout the day if you
Mm-hmm.
can. And yeah, what I do personally, I do usually 3 meals a day and a couple snacks. I
Mm-hmm.
just make sure I have a high protein with every meal. So I try to aim about 40 grams for every meal and then about 20 to 30 grams per snack. And as
Yeah.
long as I do that, I usually get to my protein goal, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And as a backup plan, if I ever had a busy day and maybe slept in or didn't get to have breakfast for whatever reason, I'll just double scoop protein
Yeah,
powder.
just pound a
That
shake at the
extra.
end of the day and call it a day, basically.
You're right there.
Yeah,
And you're right there. Yeah, super simple. But honestly, once you do it consistently enough, getting to your protein goal gets really
yeah,
simple.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like it's just regular meals at that point, just like beef
Yeah.
and rice or chicken and potatoes. Like, yeah, they
Yep.
are really just normal meals. Just always make sure
Just
you have meat in
increase your
them. Yeah,
protein. That's it.
just don't eat like a peasant and have only potatoes all day, and it's
Yep,
pretty easy
exactly.
once you get the hang of it.
Yeah, I think what a lot of people find, and like you said, is just increasing the amount of protein you have per meal.
Hmm.
Because I do often find when I hang out with non-fitness people, when they eat a meal, they will actually have way more carbs and way less
Hmm.
protein that's
Hmm.
optimal. And like all they got to do is like, okay, let's have less mashed potatoes
Yeah,
and have more of the steak or whatever
yeah,
else you're having with that meal.
yeah.
Cool, man. All right, well, let's wrap it up with naming our some of our favorite protein foods. So
Hmm.
how about we name five each, and we'll just go one by one, and you can throw in why you like it or
I
taste,
feel like
protein amount.
before we wrap up, I feel like we should address the what everybody wonders about all the time is the anabolic window, Mr. Alex.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hit me with it.
The idea of the anabolic window is essentially that there's a period of time after a workout when your body will best absorb a protein, and if you don't get your protein in during this time you've wasted your workout and you won't get as much muscle gains in. Uh,
Yeah. If you
and
don't have a
it's
protein shake immediately after working out, you're gonna lose the gains and the workout was wasted.
and luckily for you, viewer, this is not true. There is a time period of elevated protein absorption in your body after working out, but it's like multiple hours. And if you miss this time period, you're still. It's not like your muscles aren't gonna get the protein that you eat after this time period, because that wouldn't make any sense at all, and it's just
Yeah.
illogical to the extreme. Yeah, it's fake basically. So it's been a
Yeah.
myth since like, well, forever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I'm glad you actually brought it up. Yeah, your muscles are sensitive to protein absorption for I think like 24 to 48 hours afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much a much longer time. I think it's more acute in probably the first 2, 3 hours,
Yeah. Yep.
something along those lines.
And
So if you want to
yeah.
be, if you're worried about it, you don't have to eat it immediately, but most likely at some point after the gym, you're going to have a meal. But for example, yesterday I had a meal about half an hour before I went to the gym, and I went to the gym later in the day, and it
Mm-hmm.
was 10:30 by the time I came back, and I already hit my protein goal for the day. I didn't eat anything after the
No,
gym, and
sacrilegious.
I did not lose muscle
Yeah.
mass, right?
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely mostly a myth.
Yeah. It is beneficial to eat right after your workout, just because it starts your recovery faster and you're already restoring any glycogen you use. But to be fair, you're not going to deplete your glycogen from just working out at the gym.
No, it's
But it
yeah.
is just nice. It is just nice to do.
If you're worried about it, it's not gonna hurt you. But yeah, like for me, eating a big meal or even having protein right before bed,
Mm-hmm.
probably would be more detrimental for sleep than it would be beneficial for
Yeah.
building muscle.
Fair.
So like at that point, you're really splitting hairs, whether
Yeah.
it's more beneficial to do that or.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't worry about it. Get to your protein goal, work
Yeah.
out, and you'll be fine.
And if you ate a meal right before the gym, anyways, it takes your body
Exactly.
like all day to actually digest the food that you eat. So while you're
Exactly.
able to use the carbs from the food that you just ate pretty quickly because it starts in your mouth when it
Yep.
digests them, the protein you have from that meal is not even going to be remotely like processed in
No,
your body yet by the time you're done your workout. So it's still there, and your body can still use that as well. So yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. So some of those splitting hair topics are way less important than you think. They're important to talk about. But are you getting to your protein goal? Are you working out consistently?
yeah, that's
You're
what
fine.
matters. Yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the top 5 protein
Yep.
foods, and the first one for me is actually gonna be protein powder.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are foods arguably that are cheaper or tastier, but it's just so darn convenient,
Mm-hmm.
right? And especially when you have a busy lifestyle, 2 scoops protein powder, 50 grams of protein, like you said, is just so easy, and there's so much variety.
Yep.
There is, I would recommend whey if you're not having digestion issues. There's whey concentrate, whey isolate, hydrolyzed whey isolate. So if you have digestion issues in that order, they're usually easier to digest.
Mm-hmm.
So whey concentrate is the hardest, whey isolate is easier, and then hydrolyzed whey isolate is the easiest. Yeah, it's so versatile. And if you're a vegan, get like a soy or
Mm-hmm.
pea-based protein powder.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, that's
All
that's
right.
that's my first
All right. All right. Fair. Fair. Um, I my favorite source of protein is just red meat. I think because it is so nutrient dense. It has all the amino acids that you want. It has a lot of vitamins in it. Yeah. Overall, red meat's just very good for you. There's a lot of fear mongering around red meat, and eating a steak every day is not going to give you heart problems or any of the cardiac issues that people say they do. Eating
Yeah.
McDonald's and microplastics and Rad 40 and garbage every day
Yeah,
is what's going to give you health problems,
right.
not beef. Like,
Yeah, I really dislike when people are like, well, red meat is bad. I'm like, no, no.
in fact,
It's good.
I think the CDC, if that's what the American thing is for
Mhm.
health, they actually they came out and said that cholesterol is not um, really like related to health at all. Basically,
Yeah,
like if
no,
um,
cholesterol from food does not increase cholesterol in bloodstream.
mhm.
100%. That's they Oh my God. I actually have an activity I do in class where I make people, my students, read a scientific journal article,
Mhm.
the meta-analysis that looks at a bunch of cholesterol studies, and then read one of the most recent statements on cholesterol from the American Heart Association.
Mhm.
And American Heart Association still tries to play hard and be like, well, cholesterol is fine, you can have it, but you really should limit it, and you probably shouldn't have more than an egg every couple of days. I'm like, shut up. Stop
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and when
Stop trying to cover your
yeah,
tracks. It's
we're getting off topic a little bit, but in the terms of cholesterol, even when even if you are still wanting to be scared of it, like whatever, it's at least important to know that there's high density, uh, lipids and low density lipids, and
sure.
generally things like eggs and beef will be low density, and those are not detrimental to your health at all. If that is correct, it's high HDL or LDL. There's two of them.
Opposite.
I might have had them mixed up, but
Yeah, yeah.
the red meat has the good kind, basically, is what
Yes,
I'm
yes, the
saying,
good
and it
kind.
is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
detrimental to your health.
Right, 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 right. Now, there's argument to be made about other things. We'll do a fat episode in
Yeah,
the future.
yeah,
But eat your eggs. Eggs are
yeah.
great. Red
Eggs and
meat,
red meat.
especially on the
Yeah,
leaner side, is great.
yeah,
You'll be good. You'll be
yeah.
fine.
Lean ground beef is great. Maybe
Exactly.
don't be eating regular ground beef all the time unless you're on a crazy
Sure,
bulk, but
sure,
try
sure,
to
sure.
stay at the lean at least.
Very good. Next one I'll say is Greek yogurt.
Mm.
It's super
Ooh.
versatile. You can have it as a single serving, bring it with you for your lunch, breakfast, snack. They have so many different options. You can use unflavored Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. I put it in a lot of meat recipes on top of it, or like into soup. A lot of baking recipes have Greek yogurt. Super versatile, super high protein, very high bioavailability. Good option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I respect that. I have Greek yogurt before bed every night because it's just nice and slow and easy to digest for me, and I have that with like a rice cake, and then go to
Nice.
sleep generally. Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. Love
Yep.
that.
And it's your dairy, right? So calcium.
Yeah, you get vitamin D, calcium. Yeah, why
Mm-hmm.
not? You get the probiotics in there as well if it's good
Mm-hmm.
quality. Greek yogurt helps with digestion.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of benefits, but super high protein, tasty.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I already said red meat, but I mean, I could also say white meat. Things
Sure.
like I'll put white fish in there as well.
Okay.
Um, maybe I'm kind of we're saying everything now basically. But meat and fish are both good, and white meat and white fish are very lean. They're very low in calories, and you'll get lots of protein in, so they'll satiate your hunger for the most part, and also get your protein in and keep you somewhat full, which is great. And they can taste good. You just have to put some spices on them, and there you
Oh
go.
my god.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I had a
No.
lot of cod during prep though, and I don't really think I want any more cod for a while.
For a
But
while. For a
things
while.
like
Yeah.
yeah, things like cod and shrimp, even shrimp are really good for protein.
Yeah. Seafood.
Yep. Chicken breasts,
Absolutely.
chicken thighs are okay, but they're kind of getting more into the realm of red meat, and they're quite fatty. So
Sure. Depending
it's
what your calories are at too.
yeah, yeah,
Bulking, cutting. Yeah. Making
yeah.
sense. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess
Good.
ground turkey,
Um,
ground chicken are both options too. Yeah. Anyways.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good. Next one I'm going to say, just because I use it a lot, because we're saying our top five protein foods, is protein bars.
Yeah.
They can be pricey, but if you go on Amazon and look up for protein bars, they usually have one or two options that are on sale, like
Mm-hmm.
25% off. That's what I usually get. Literally had a protein bar before this call.
Mm-hmm.
Very convenient. You guys just got to be careful with choosing the right ones. Little hack is looking for at least 1 gram of protein per every 10 calories.
Mm-hmm.
So 200 calorie protein bars should have about 20 grams of protein or more. A lot of good brands out there, a lot of bad brands. So you got to be careful looking at it. But boy, there are some that taste really good. There
Mm-hmm.
are some that taste almost as good as a candy bar. Very convenient. So yeah, I just think it's a very versatile option.
Yep. After prep, I became addicted to protein bars for a while, and I would go to the
Yeah,
supplement store and buy like 10 different kinds, and I would
yeah,
have one every day. That was fun. Not anymore, but that was
yeah.
fun. It was expensive.
It gets pricey, and you have to be careful because a lot of them will have just milk protein, not isolate, and a lot of them will have sugar alcohols. So if you have
Mm.
like 3, 4 bars
Yeah,
daily,
it's not great on your tummy.
not great in your tummy. But if you have one a day, you're perfectly fine.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Hmm.
You got anything else for us?
I mean, I said eggs and red meat, but I guess eggs can be their own category.
Eggs.
Eggs are really good. Eggs are just, I mean, if you want to say the word superfood, you can. I know it's not. Some people don't like that term, which is whatever. It's fine. But eggs are just really good. They have omega 3s. They have great vitamins in them. I like egg white and egg yolk together. You should be
Hmm.
eating that. Unless you're really deep in the cut, there's really no reason to be having just egg whites.
Sure.
Um, Eggs are great. You can cook them in many different ways. You can scramble them and fry them, slice that up, blah, blah, blah. And you can boil them. Hard boiled eggs are a great snack, and you can bring them places very easily. It can be smelly, but,
Yeah,
whatever.
just don't do it in a very close, like
Yeah,
in a car. Probably don't open it up, but
but yeah, the eggs are great. Eggs have a ton of nutrients, a ton of vitamins. Definitely
eat
eat
your
your
eggs.
eggs.
But make sure you limit it to one a day, right? Because you don't want to have heart health issues.
uh-huh.
No, don't do that. Eat
Um,
as many eggs as you want.
yeah.
You're fine.
And try it's hard. It's hard to find reasonably priced eggs that are high
Mm,
quality. Um,
sure.
but like here in Canada, it's the prices are okay. If I go to Safeway and I buy a dozen eggs that are like omega 3 fancy orange yolky eggs, it's like $7 for a dozen, which is pretty expensive. But
It's a
sometimes they're
lot.
on sale. Sometimes they're on sale, and like you can at least buy like the nicer ish eggs for like $4 a dozen, which is a bit better. But like you should good the good sign of a good quality egg is the color of the yolk. A
Yeah.
bad egg is gonna be pale and yellow and kind of just flimsy and gross, and a nice egg will have a nice orange, darker colored yolk. Like I had my wife buy eggs from Costco the other day because I didn't want to go to Safeway, and they're just like after having these like nice orange yolks Safeway eggs for months, I had these Costco eggs, and they're just like actually just pale and sickly looking, and it's just
Bland.
gross,
Yeah.
and they taste bad, and
Greenish.
yeah, it's so
Yeah.
yeah,
No, what Eli is saying is not that if you can only afford the cheaper eggs, you're still gonna get all
yes,
the protein, right? You might not get as many nutrients. You might not get all the vitamins that you would from a more of a farm-raised egg.
yeah, yeah,
Now, the hack I will say is if you do live in an area close to farms, like where
mm,
I live, there's so many people owning chickens.
yeah,
What my dad does is literally once every 2 weeks, he'll just go out and fill like six cartons of eggs,
yeah,
and it's cheaper than the store. And boy, they are rich.
yep, yep.
Right.
That's
So
what I
if you have a
usually
chance to do
do.
that, do that. If not, get whatever you can.
Yeah, something is better than nothing. Um,
Absolutely.
I guess we said Greek yogurt, but we didn't really talk about dairy. I don't know if you had anything else
Yeah.
that you wanted to mention on your list.
I have one more.
Okay,
I have one
let's
more
go
that
for that.
oh, maybe actually two more. So the one I want to mention is technically we already mentioned it, but specifically in the form of lunch meat,
Mm,
right? Lunch meat is super convenient.
mm-hmm,
And personally, I move around a lot. Like I work a lot in coffee shops and I travel a lot throughout the day, often.
mm-hmm,
So I like having prep food with me. And usually where I go, there's no microwaves,
yeah,
right? So having sandwiches is very convenient.
yep,
Now, you can argue all you want about certain additives they're adding in the processed meat, sure. But as far as getting to your protein goal, chicken, turkey, ham, roast beef,
mm-hmm,
can be very convenient.
yep.
Now, there are processed meats like salami and bologna, not the best,
No,
don't get
yeah,
those. But the ones that are lean, you look at the nutrition label and it's mostly protein, there's going to
mm-hmm,
be no carbs and like maybe a couple grams of fat.
mm-hmm,
Those are good options to get to your protein goal.
yep, yep,
I wouldn't
and
recommend getting, all of your protein from that because it's a lot of salt and a lot of additives like
mm-hmm,
nitrates. But one meal a day, it can be very
yeah,
convenient.
yep, and that really just goes back to just any meal with meat in it is a step in the right direction and
Absolutely.
is good. Yeah. So I
Yep.
guess then my last one would just be dairy in general. Like Alex said, Greek yogurt is the best way you're gonna find your protein in your dairy. Milk's fine, and I like milk. It's just
Yeah.
if you're not bulking, I've always found it really hard to fit milk into my diet, just in general. Even when I am bulking, I don't really feel like I need it. And milk is good for you.
Mhm.
It's just they add a lot of sugars are added to milk, and you're like, I mean, I guess it depends on where you live, but around here, the milk has a lot of sugar in it, and it's just
Okay.
weird. It's weirdly high in carbs for just
Well,
what would just be milk. But
hmm.
it's still
Yeah.
good for you. It has a lot of nutrients, and vitamins and stuff and calcium.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like a super. It's I mean, actually, if you look at a 2% milk, it's like extremely balanced nutrient wise
Hmm.
because you have like I think it's 12 grams of sugar, primarily from lactose, like 7 grams of protein, and like 3 4 grams of fat.
Yeah,
So it's like very balanced. But if
yeah,
you're trying to get a high protein, milk is just okay.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
still good for you though. It's not bad to drink your milk. Like I'm
If
not a
you don't have
milk
the
hater by any
distribution of it,
means. Yeah.
absolutely. And if you have options to get something like Fairlife milk,
Yeah,
that's the
that's
only
the
option I can
stuff.
think of now.
It's expensive,
Yeah,
but that's
it's
good stuff.
expensive, but the way they process it, there's no lactose, number one. So
Yeah.
if you're sensitive to milk, you most likely won't be sensitive to this. And they keep more of the protein in. I don't know how they do it. Somehow they
Yeah,
filter it to keep
magic.
more protein. But honestly, like 1%, 2% Fairlife milk is pretty close
Hmm.
nutrition-wise to like a protein bar as
Yeah.
far as the calorie to
You may have
protein
chocolate
ratio.
milk if you really want
Oh my goodness, don't get me
that.
started. That sucker is like done in a day and a
Yeah, I
half.
can't afford because I drink it in a day and it's yeah
Bro,
I just drunk $5 6 in a day or more like hey,
if you're bulking especially, it's great if you have the
hmm,
money, but
yeah,
boy, is it's super tasty, but it is expensive.
yeah. If you're if you're a hard gainer, like a real hard gainer, because most people aren't hard gainers, if you
Or
can actually eat like 3,000 4,000 calories a day and you're not gaining weight, like I have a client who I have eating 3,000 calories a day right now and he's still losing weight. It's crazy. His metabolism
wild.
is amazing. Chocolate milk is not a bad option.
Oh my goodness. A whole fat chocolate milk.
Yeah, yeah.
There's actually options that are higher than 4%. There'll be like 8% chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You do that, you do a half a
Oh
gallon of that a
man.
day, you're covered.
Oh, we, my wife made something with a big thing of cream, but we had like a whole extra thing of just like cream, and I made
Mhm.
a protein shake with just cream and protein powder. That was awesome.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was like
Oh
ice
my
cream.
goodness. I
It
bet.
hurt my stomach, but it was good.
I wonder if you could make a high protein ice cream by just like
Oh
doing
yeah,
cream and protein powder
yeah, you probably
blender.
could.
With the cream.
And I guess that's probably a good thing to mention. Not all dairy is a good protein source. You should not just drink cream.
Sure.
There's barely any protein
Yeah.
in things like cream and butter and all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Depending on the cheese. Cheese is an
Oh,
interesting
cheese is
one
good.
because
Yes, I
there
did
are
say
like
cheese. And cheese is good if you're bulking too, because you can melt cheese on
sure.
stuff and it just adds more calories.
Yeah, cheese can be, I mean, the regular cheese would definitely be good for bulking, but if you have options to buy low fat or
Hmm.
even non-fat cheeses,
Yeah,
they actually can be a good option. I mean, non-fat cheese is all protein, right?
yeah,
A little bit carbs,
yeah,
but mostly protein. So those are decent options as
yeah.
well.
It's great. Buy
Just be
block
wise.
cheese. Don't buy shredded cheese. It's a waste of your money, and
Yes.
they put
Yeah, shred your
garbage
own
on
cheese.
it. So just buy block cheese.
Smart. Smart.
Yeah.
I like it. I think we covered protein, man.
More or less,
Anything we
yeah.
missed?
I mean, like there's protein in lentils and nuts and seeds and stuff, and
Yeah.
I think I did want to talk about that. I guess I almost forgot things like peanut butter and nuts and stuff like that. It's not a main source of protein. It's not a high source of protein, but having those things with your snacks that you already are having protein meals with just adds a little bit more to your day. And if you can have the calories, then that's great. Don't go eating a full thing of peanut butter, but putting like peanut butter on your rice cakes or whatever, or in
Sure.
your cream of rice or peanut or oatmeal or protein shake, it just adds a little bit, and it adds some healthy fats as well. So it really doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, reality is you are gonna get a few grams of peanut butter here and there from different random foods,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
different fruits and vegetables and grains and nuts and
hmm,
seeds all will add anywhere between 1 to 5 grams per serving,
hmm,
right? So it's like that will add up. That'll give
yeah,
you another 10, 20 grams throughout the day.
yeah,
So yeah, that's where tracking your intake would be very helpful.
yeah. And
Yeah.
what do
But as
you?
far as,
Sorry,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
so what do you think? Because we should give some vegan options.
Yeah.
What would you say are your favorite vegan options for protein?
Honestly, soy products are the best ones.
Hmm.
You honestly, the studies are mixed. The effects, the estrogen increasing effects are in context of a very large soy intake.
Hmm.
So I would just say don't make it more than half of your intake of protein.
Hmm.
But yeah, soy, edamame, tofu, very helpful. Pea protein concentrate has a pretty high bioavailability, surprisingly so. Chickpeas as well. So yeah, a lot of beans, a lot of peas. Hopefully you don't have digestion issues.
Yeah,
Only thing I'm gonna
yeah.
say.
It'd be
Um,
smelly. Yeah.
yeah, but soy, lentils, beans, peas are probably your best friends. There are gluten-based protein
Mhm.
sources, so they have like protein bread that will be gluten. They will have seitan, which is gluten-based protein source. It just has a very low bioavailability. But if you have other protein sources throughout the day, like lentils, you'll increase that a little bit.
Mhm.
So those are probably bottom line. If you are vegan, eat enough protein, but I would probably eat closer to 1.5 grams of
Mhm.
protein per pound of desired body weight, just because your bioavailability is lower.
Yep. Yep. I want to check. It's gonna kill me now. I don't remember, not remembering if LDL or HDL are the good ones. I'm trying to.
HDL is a good one. LDL is
Yes,
the bad one.
LDL is the bad one. Yes, okay. Yeah, just wanted to make sure you clarify that because I don't want people thinking
Yeah,
LDL
good,
is good
good.
for
People in the
meat.
comments,
Yeah.
like, listen to the end. We clarified.
All right.
Fun fact: HDL. No, almost nobody has healthy HDL levels. Like, it's
Mm,
very hard to get,
mm,
just in my experience.
mhm.
I don't have a good HDL level. Ah, awesome, man. Ready for wrap up?
Yeah, yeah, that was good. I think we covered everything we needed to.
I think we did
Oh,
well. If you want to hear, go ahead.
sorry. Alex isn't as much of a believer, but I like taking essential amino acids
Oh,
as a
sure,
supplement.
sure.
I like that as an intra workout thing to have, and it also just tastes good and makes it so that your creatine that you're drinking can be put in with that, so you don't have to drink plain creatine. Um, but stay away from BCAAs. They're not useless. It's just that if you're already hitting your protein goal, they kind of are useless. But
Yeah,
the essential amino acids will top up anything that you might be missing. Especially if you're
sure.
vegan. If you can get a EAA
There we go.
product that is vegan, then that is very good.
Yeah, I would say EAAs are extremely helpful if you're a vegan, like crazy. So if you're not, I mean, it's not gonna hurt.
I have them, but
I
it's
believe.
not necessary. But it's good.
Yeah. Depending, I mean, EAAs are going to be very helpful for anybody who doesn't get to their protein goal and doesn't eat very high protein quality foods.
Hmm.
But it's not going to hurt. And if you want to be safe, and they're usually super cheap and they usually taste good, so sure, why
Yep.
not?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Now I'm done.
All right. If you want to support us, go to grimdarkgains.com and start your health and fitness journey. You can find Eli at Deadlifts for the Dark Gods and myself at fit_hammer on Instagram and YouTube. You can find a link to Grimdark Gains Discord on our Instagram at Grimdark Gains or our personal Instagram accounts. Thank you, and until next time, stay Warhammer strong.
Yeah, baby.
Go
Farewell.
those guns.
The lighting in my room is so tragically bad, but they're there somewhere, I promise.
Over headlights. Yeah.
All right. Farewell,
See you
everyone.
guys.
Love you.